name's Kristen Gale, and today I'm going to find out what you know about energy. All right, kids, if you guys could get out your notebooks, I need you to work in groups of 4 as we begin. What I want you to do is write the word energy, there we go, energy in the middle of your paper. Each of you needs a different color marker, and I want each of you to write one word that makes you think of energy for each person in the group, and then I want you to take that and pass it around to the other groups, and it will come back to me. All right, I'll give you guys about 5 minutes to do that, and then as a class, we're going to review that. Okay. Oh, look, anybody, how's it going? Do you guys have any questions about energy? Okay. All right, well, great. It looks like you guys had a lot of ideas. Some of you got that there's motion. Some of you thought about energy and lightning. Edison, electricity. That's probably the most common thing I hear about when I ask my students about what energy is they think it's electricity. Let's see, batteries, coal, power plants, those are all things associated with energy. Benjamin Franklin, good job. You guys had a really good idea. Well, basically, energy is always the same thing. It just is given many different labels. And we're going to talk about 9 of the basic labels most people assign to energy today and how we can classify those. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is nuclear energy. This is the energy that powers the sun. The second one is thermal or heat energy. This is probably something you'd associate with a fire. Third, another common type of energy is light energy. The fourth energy is sound energy. 5 is the one most of you are familiar with, which is electrical energy that you run your TV off of. Then we have our gravitational potential energy. So as you see, as this parachuter goes higher, the higher his position, the more energy he has. And then finally, we have our kinetic energy. A lot of people know that that was motion. I saw that on the paper, so good job. Let's see, we also have chemical energy, and that's what's stored inside of batteries, apples, and even coal. And finally, elastic energy, or elastic potential energy. So what do those 9 different energies have to do with energy? Well, a lot of times people have the misconception that energy can be created or destroyed, but it can't. Some key points to remember are that energy cannot be created or destroyed. A lot of times I'll hear people say, well, we're running out of energy. We're not running out of energy. What we're running out of is the traditional form of energy we find in fossil fuels. Really, what usually happens with energy is it's transferred from one place to another. We call it the conservation of energy. So what does that mean by transferred? You guys probably already know, but just haven't thought about it before. So let's look at a couple of examples of transferred energy. The first example I'm going to use is fire. In fire, what happens is you take the chemical energy that's found in wood and that's transferred into light and heat energy. Okay? Another example that we're all familiar with is the light bulb again. What we do in that case is we take the electrical energy and it's transferred into light and heat energy. So that's also something you're familiar with. What about your smartphones? This one's a little more complicated because first we're taking electrical energy, we're storing it into the battery inside your smartphone, and then finally it comes out as light energy, heat energy, and then sound energy. And that's something that surprises a lot of students. They don't realize that sound is actually a form of energy. And then finally, going back to our example of the slingshot, we have elastic potential energy when we pull that slingshot back, and when it's released and it travels, it's transferred into kinetic energy, because remember, kinetic energy is motion, and a little bit of gravitational potential energy because it has some height. Okay, so now you guys all know the 9 different types of energy and how they're transferred. What we need to do, though, is assign them into our T-charts. And so, because most of those different types of energy can be broken down into kinetic energy and potential energy. So what types of energy do we think we're going to find here under kinetic energy? Yeah? Okay, good job. That's right. Light and heat are probably the most popular forms of kinetic energy. Yep, electrical energy. We find that over here by kinetic energy. What about some of our stored energies? Yeah? Oh, that's right. Chemical energy. Chemical energy is definitely stored. Yes. Gravitational potential energy. Yep, that's another form of our stored energy. Now, what about our nuclear energy that we talked about? That's right. We would find that here under potential energy, and sometimes people refer to chemical and nuclear energy as the same thing. So we're going to find both chemical and nuclear over here under stored. And then, of course, we have kinetic energy under kinetic energy, which is, what about sound? We talked about sound earlier. That's right. Sound is something that moves. We can tell that, right? Because things get louder or quieter as we move away. Good job, you guys. Okay, next what I'm going to have you do is just maybe you're going to come up with your own examples of energy transfers. And I want you guys to go ahead and turn that in at the end of the period. Again, thanks for learning about energy with me today. And this was for EDSU 530 Brandman University with Dr. Leticia Rojas. Thank you.